Students, I'm really happy to be back with you for another session of English, and in today's class is for class 9, we will be discussing or analyzing rather a poem which goes by the name Wind, and the name of the poet is Subramania Bharati, a very famous Tamil poet. He was a writer, a freedom fighter and a journalist. We will be discussing regarding his life later on. But before we enter into the poem, I would like to introduce you to a few questions, general questions regarding wind. What is wind? What do you understand by the word wind? Well, if you ask a science teacher, he may tell you moving air is wind. That is the explanation that science gives us. So moving air is wind, but sometimes this wind takes a stronger form. And when it takes a stronger form, it takes a different name as well. That is storm. So storm is wind in a very fast and a strong motion. And you know there are different names given to the storm. Cyclone, gale, typhoon, tornado, and sometimes even tsunami. Tsunami means harbor waves, which is caused by strong winds or storms. Now, moving air is wind, and moving air does not cause much of a destruction. But when it assumes the form of storm, it becomes dangerous, disastrous. And you know, the disaster caused by a storm or the destruction caused by a storm is severe. Transportation is cut off, electric poles are uprooted, communication becomes impossible, roads are cut off, and cars and vehicles, they start submerging, going down into water, and people lose their lives, and a heavy damage is done to the property. So storm stands for destruction, and a massive destruction. It is not destruction in a small amount, but it is destruction at a larger level. But then again, the same wind takes a gentle form. And when it takes a gentle form, the name that we give it is breeze. The moment we discuss breeze, the season that should come to our mind is the spring season. Spring is the best season of the year. And during the springtime, you have a gentle breeze that blows, and the gentle breeze soothes our mind, soothes our body, gives us a lot of comfort, peace, calm. Okay? So wind is moving air once again, and when the wind takes a stronger form, when it assumes a dangerous kind of form, it becomes storm, and when the wind is gentle in motion, that is known as breeze. Okay. This can be the simplest meaning that could be given to wind, storm and breeze. Well, this is a scientific explanation. But in literature, especially in this poem, wind assumes a very different meaning. It has got nothing to do with science. So what is the implied meaning, the hidden meaning? What is the hidden meaning of wind as far as this poem is concerned? Wind stands for the troubles. It stands for the challenges. It stands for the problems. It stands for the trials, tribulations, okay, harsh moments in life. This is what is understood by wind, and this is what the explanation is for the wind as far as the poet is concerned. So, troubles, challenges and problems, these are the winds of life. And what do these winds do? They rock the boat of our lives. Our life can be compared to a boat, and the boat sails on the river, it sails in the ocean. But when it sails, the problems of life come and they shake the boat. So the boat is obviously rocked. And sometimes what happens? When we are unable to face the problems, the winds of life, we become discouraged and the boat of our life goes down. The boat sinks. We don't have the courage. So the tell us, don't be discouraged. Don't run away from the problem. This is what every reasonable person will say. Problems are inevitable. You cannot run away from your problems. You cannot hide yourself from the problems. You cannot just say, no, I don't want to face the problem. But you have to live with the problem. Today, there is a strong wind that is blowing all over the world. The whole world is rocked by this problem. What is that? Novel corona, COVID-19. The whole world is shattered. Thousands and thousands, lakhs and lakhs of people have lost their lives. Many have become jobless. Day after day, people are getting infected. There is no hope for life. This is the wind. This is the wind that is blowing today, and this is the wind that the poet is talking about. So you see, this wind is a poem which is very much appealing to the present situation. So this is a time, the poet says, that we should not lose our courage. This is the time that we should become bold and courageous to face the problem instead of running away from it, not being afraid of the problem. Wind should not shake you. Rather, wind should help you to become stronger. And through this poem, when we start discussing the poem, you'll get a very clear understanding the sum and substance of the poem. If you can sum up the whole poem in one sentence, it will be this: the poem inspires us to face the challenges. It gives us some courage, it gives us some confidence to face the problems of life and carry on with life instead of becoming hopeless, instead of becoming discouraged. Human beings are powerless before the problems of life. This is another important point you will come to understand when you read the poem and try to understand it. Human beings are powerless before the winds of life, before the problems of life. You see the present situation, just connected to the present world, present situation. Novel corona, COVID-19, a small virus which is not even visible to the naked eye. That small virus has put or turned the whole world upside down, and human beings are still trying to find a vaccine for this. They have not yet succeeded. Experimentation is going on. Trials are going on. So this is a very, very good poem which reminds us of the present world. That is why I decided to discuss this poem with you all today. However strong a human being may be, however knowledgeable a human being may be, however powerful a human being may be, however wealthy and rich a human being may be, he becomes powerless before the winds of life, before the problems of life. So it is with this point and the background that we need to analyze this wind, or analyze the poem Wind. Now, before we get into the poem, let me give you a brief description about the poet. Who is the poet? Subramania Bharati is the poet. He was born on December 11 in Tamil Nadu. Subramania Bharati is known as Mahakavi Bharati. So Maha, everybody knows that Maha means great. Kavi means poet. So another name, you call it as Sobriki. In English, it is known as Sobriki. Sobriki means a name that is given to a particular person by which the whole world knows him. And the Sobriki given to Subramania Bharati is Mahakavi Bharati, the great poet. Why is he known as Mahakavi Bharati? Because he was not only a poet, he was also a writer, a journalist, and above all, a freedom fighter. He lived during the British Raj, when India was going through the struggle for independence, when it was going through a tough time, fighting for its independence. Subramania Bharati infused courage into the hearts and minds of every Indian. So he played a great role as far as the nationalist movement of India was concerned. Through his poems, he infused a spirit of nationalism and courage and a sense of patriotism among the citizens of India. So if you read his poems, you will definitely understand what kind of a man he was as far as the independence of India was concerned. His poems were burning with fire, you can say, fiery poems. Every line that he wrote infused courage. It totally changed the personality of the Indians who were living at that time. That is why this man, Subramanian Bharati, is known as Mahakavi Bharati, and he opposed the British not with violence, not with guns, not with spears, not with weapons, but he opposed them with the weapon of his words. And what was the weapon of his words? His poems were the weapon of his words. So with this little introduction, let us get into the poem. We will analyze the poem line by line.